Rockstar Gang, what up? What up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Give me a second here. Gotta work some stuff out. Real quick. There we go. Had to fix the audio real quick. Appreciate everybody in the chat. We got T-Tops in here saying late as fuck. Hey, listen, man. Cinco de Mayo, by the way. Shout out to Cinco de Mayo. Had a little cocktail tonight. Just one. We cooked some steak, made some steak tacos, and then we made some salmon on the grill tonight. That's what we did. So I had to have, we gotta celebrate the Cinco de Mayo. What's up, Clay? Couldn't make it the last stream. It's all good, Zach. I don't expect y'all guys to make it to every stream, but if you do, great. I don't expect it. Just a regular marg, nothing crazy. Just a regular margarita, nothing crazy, no flavor, just a regular. Just a regular margarita. What's up, Eric? Appreciate you joining, man. I still got to fix those dang emojis. I got to get us some new ones. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream, man. What to expect from Bryce Young? Will the Panthers quarterback break out? Or to start a poll question, do you think Bryce Young breaks out in 2025? And I would love to see the vote. Do you think Bryce Young breaks out in 2025? Y'all could also sound off the comments as we go throughout this. All right. Again, if you guys are feeling generous, feel free to shoot me a Cash App or Venmo. I greatly appreciate it. Super chats are open, are also welcome. Just to support the channel, all donations always go back to the channel. I always want to make sure that is clear. None of it goes towards my pocket. I can tell you that. To keep this channel going, it needs to support. So, all of it goes towards the channel. So support the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. If you do, if not, it's all good. If you like, subscribe, become a member as well. That always goes a long way. But other than that, let's dive right into this, man. We talked about this a little bit last week. I didn't really dive deep into it as much as I would have liked to. But if we're looking at Bryce Young, right, as a whole, and we're looking at a guy that's coming off his probably the best 12 games we've ever seen in out of him. Okay. Let me clear up my camera real quick. There we go. Just had to clear it up because it was looking a little fuzzy there. There we go. All right. Bryce Young, 2025 season. Here's the thing. I'm going to say it before, and we spoke about it a little bit last week. But this is the season I will not be coddling Bryce Young. This is a season that I will not be babying Bryce Young. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to give Bryce Young, because this is his third year, so we have to stop coddling him. We have to stop babying him. You are no longer allowed to have any more excuses. Now, here's the thing. I do think that it's not going to be all on Bryce Young, so let me make that perfectly clear to some of you that may be listening, okay? It's not going to be all on Bryce Young. There are some things that are involved in this that have to happen. For example, Ejiro Evero has to take this defense out of the pits of hell. That's number one. You can't tell me Bryce Young can, that's number one. Number two, Bryce Young has to step forward, step up what we saw in the last 12 weeks of the season is what we need to see coming off in the first 12 weeks of this season, to be honest with you. If you can give me that, then we are having we're having a total different conversation. Because let's think about it this way, guys. Let's cut the bullshit. Bryce Young's first 2 seasons in the NFL hasn't exactly lit the world on fire. You're the 2023 number 1 overall pick. You came in the sky high expectations, which when you're the number 1 overall pick, that's how it works. And no offense to Bryce Young, and it's not all of his fault, but he did face plant. And it was into a brutal, and when I say he face planted into a brutal learning curve. He face planted into a organizational chaos. He face planted into one of the worst supporting structure casts you could dump on a rookie. That was in 2023. Then you get the 2024 season. We rebuilt the offensive line. We got him another weapon, Xavier Legette. You got him Jadavion Sanders, another weapon. You got him Jonathan Brooks, another weapon. 2 of them panned out. You got him an undrafted free agent. We didn't expect him to show as much potential as he did, but he did. So here's the thing. When we go back to the 2024 season, Dan didn't really rebuild that defense. Derek Brown getting out and injured for the whole year didn't help either. Shaq Thompson out again for another year, vocal leader on the defense. That didn't help either. But Bryce Young's 2024 season, guys, I mean, and don't get me wrong, it gave us something more complicated. Not quite redemption, but not failure either. So what should we actually expect from Bryce Young in 2025? And that's what I'm going to tell you today. I'm going to give you my expectations for Bryce Young. So guys, sit back, grab yourself a cocktail because you might need it a little bit. You might need a cocktail for this one. I don't know. But here's the thing. The mess that was 2024, and let's be honest, Bryce Young's sophomore season was a little bit of a circus. You went back-to-back stinkers against the Saints and the Chargers. Games where he looked lost. He was panicking, frankly overmatched. You bring in Dave Canales, who benched him for the reliable but bland Andy Dalton because that's what he is. He's reliable, but he's just bland, boring. And at that point, the bust alarms were blaring across Panthers Nation. But credit where it's due, Bryce Young didn't fold. Right? He returned back into week 5 against the Denver Broncos. Began, I think it was in week 5, right? Yeah, week 5. And began stitching together something that resembled what an NFL quarterback should look like. He wasn't a revelation, but he was composed. He was competent. Here's a word we hadn't used on him before. I haven't even used on him before, but he was actually trustworthy. I actually felt like when I watched him drop back in those last 12 weeks of the season, I kind of felt that I could feel my trust going back towards him, saying, okay, lead the way. But, let's talk about the stats. What do the stats say? Like if we go look at his stats in 2025, what do the stats say? Right? Let's pull him up. All right, let's pull him up. Let's pull up Bryce Young's 2025 stats. Okay, let's pull him up. Not 2025, 2024. Sorry. We got to go look at the 2024 stats. So what does the stats say? And what do they don't say, really? What do the stats say and what do they don't say? That's what we got to answer right now. Because when you look at this, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. We're looking at his stats right now. I'm gonna you guys should be able to see that. Stat moves. This is his stats. 14 games. Okay, as you can see. All right. 14 games. So after his benching, he started 10 games. Okay. Started 10 games. And the record he went was 4-6. Right? Not great, but the records are garbage stats when your defense is bleeding points. Bleeding points like a stuck pig, and your offensive line. Well, your offensive line was fine, but your defensive line couldn't stop I don't know, a fucking troll. I don't know, but they couldn't stop nobody on the run. I mean, when your defense is allowing 31.4 points a game, and your defense is allowing 179.8 rushing yards a game, and your bottom 5 and third down conversions on defense. Like every snap back there for that defense looked like an absolute social experiment in chaos. Because among those 10, if we remember correctly, we go look at those 10 games. I mean, you go look what he did against Philadelphia. Pretty damn decent numbers against Philadelphia here. 19 to 34, 55.9 completion, 191 yards. Solid. Not great. Rating 69. Wasn't that great, but we're going up the Super Bowl champions there, and you almost won that game. Kansas City had over 263 yards, 92.9 rating, 21 for 35 and a touchdown. 0 picks. Okay? But then you look at it in a totality, right? It's over. If you look at the last 10 games and not including the games he did play, okay, not including the games he did play or came in for a little bit, whatever, right? But actually came in, so we'll say about right here. So if we go to Bryce Young's last 10 games. We'll just go Bryce Young's last 10 games in 2024. There we go. Last 10 games in 2024 right there. Bryce Young had a passer rating of 88.9% over 2,100 yards, 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in the last 10 games of 2024. Completion percentage was around 61.7, something like that. All right. Had over 37 carries, also 225 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns. So if you did the math on this, right? If you actually did the math on this, okay, you're looking at a guy. If we average this out if we did this, let's say he played like this for 17 games straight. If you add it up, it would be over 3,500 yards. So almost 3,600 yards, but it would accumulate to 26 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. And then his rushing game, he would in the rushing, he would have had like 63 carries, 379 yards, 9 touchdowns. So, and I did the math. So those numbers would put him in 9th in pass attempts, 16th in passing yards in 2024. If he would have played like this 17 games straight. That's right behind CJ Stroud, the golden boy himself. That's nothing. In fact, if he puts that up in 2025, he's doing more than just holding the job. He's justifying it. But here's the kicker. We can't go based off a stat line. That stat line is assuming that stat line, if we do that, assumes no improvement from last year's disaster of a roster. That's where the optimism, I think a lot of people are creeping in on. I think that's where a lot of people are creeping in on. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. Here's the reason why I'm going to say in 2025, why 2025 might not suck too much. Because let's talk about what changed, right? And I know I'm just rambling. This is not the, I'm just rambling. But I felt like I really needed to get this off my chest about the whole Bryce Young ordeal, because sooner or later we were going to have this conversation. Young was in 2024. We're talking, if we're really being serious about this. Young was playing from behind so often, right? If you go back and remember and go watch this game, so often he might as well have been running a 2-minute drill in the first quarter. The Panthers defense, we understand, was historically bad. That's not like, it was record book awful. Now, it's patched up. It's healthier. Dare we say it's competent? Do we all believe here that the defense is competent now? Do we say that the Carolina Panthers defense is competent now? After the moves we make? Now, I can see it. I love the Nick Scorton pick. I love the Princely pick. I think Lathan Ransom could be a sleeper. Jimmy Horn could be a sleeper. I think T-Mac could end up being a reliable target for Bryce Young, the one we've been looking for, especially with Dave Canales working his magic with him. That's what we're hoping, right? Makes a lot of sense. I don't think Trevor Etienne, I think he can get some playing time, but I don't think he's going to make an major impact his first year. I just don't. Mitchell Evans, to me, might be a guy sleeper to a lot of you guys as well. I see a lot of Jason Witten in him. That's a guy that could open up the middle of the field for you. Here's the thing. Young might not need to throw the ball 45 times just not to get blown out. But here's the thing. Another thing is you got to think about it this way. We got a good run game. We're going to have another good run game again. I thought we had a very good run game last year. You've doubled down on running back. You got 2 running backs who went for 1,000 yards last year. Chuba Hubbard returns. You add in Rico Dowdle to back him up. You got a beefy offensive line that, that actually looks like it gives a damn. So this signals a commitment to real offensive balance in my eyes. Now, here's the thing. If the Panthers can actually run the ball and avoid 2nd and 13 every damn drive, and Young's life just got hell of a lot easier then. But I think T-Mac is a guy that's, I wasn't very high on. He wasn't my top wide receiver in this draft just because I just felt like we needed someone more that could take the top off and create separation, open up the middle of the field. I just felt like that was the need, right? I felt like that was more of the need, but I get why people think T-Mac was the better fit because he's a guy that can go up and get it. You thought XL could go up and get it, but he's had too many drops, but injuries could be part of those drops. We've had that discussion before. But at the same time, the addition of T-Mac gives Young a legitimate new weapon in the pass game. You pair him now with the existing wide receiver room, and suddenly the defense has to spread the love. I think Xavier Legat's going to have a breakout year because of the fact T-Mac's coming here. I think the fact that the potential with T-Mac to stretch the field, pull coverage, which helps everyone, really. But this isn't just about targets, who's getting the ball more often. This is about making this whole offense more dynamic. So if T-Mac, even if T-Mac, think about it this way, folks. Even if T-Mac is 70% of what he was in Arizona, what he was hyped up to be, Young's going to have options. Right? Like, another thing, another reason why I could get better is maybe we actually have a competent defense. Though I think that's going to be the biggest thing for me. Like, I know I mentioned that was my first thing, but I want to go back to the defense because I think that's going to be key for Bryce Young's development. If you can get a defense that can get pressure on the quarterback, create turnovers, give you better field position for Bryce Young to go down there and score touchdowns, or or give this offense better chances to go down the field and create a short drive to get a touchdown or even 3 points. It's a win. You're going to have more chances to score. Right? So that's another thing. I need to see Evero, though. I think even though we've got the pieces, I need to see Evero use them. Now, I see some of you guys in the chat saying, well, guys, we need a linebacker. We need, a corner. Here's the thing. I think we need another safety. I think we need to get that true ball hawk. I think Lathan Ransom would be better off sitting behind Trayvon Moehrig and learning from him. Now, Lathan Ransom could end up being that ball hawk for all I know. But we should say, I agree with Rock Jones with this statement right here. No excuses for Ejiro Evero now. You have plenty of the pieces. I can't agree with that more, Roadmaster. I can't agree with that more. At least Bryce Young showed potential at the end of the season. Evero is so stubborn in his ways, he wasn't even willing to make adjustments to this defense. But I don't blame him. He was like, what's the point? I got trash-ass players. I've got practice squad players out here playing. And one of the most, his scheme is so he has a difficult scheme to learn. So I agree with you. I do think that Bryce Young, I'm putting some pressure on Bryce Young this year, but I agree. Let's put some pressure on Ejiro Evero, maybe even more, because you've got all the pieces now. Yep. I agree, Tim. I just don't know if they're going to get him for the right price. I don't know if they're going to get him for the right price. That's the only thing. Now, here's the thing you guys need to watch for, and listen carefully when I speak about this, because I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it simple. There are a few things that will tell us if Bryce Young ascends or he just continues to tread water. He is stuck in this rip current and he can't get out. And he's just treading water. Number one, watch his completion percentage this year. This one is just that is just straightforward. Think about it. If Young is still stuck at 61.7%, despite a better run game, you still got the same offensive line that was very good last year. It's time to worry. You have to have I need to see Bryce Young this year jump to a 65% completion or higher. What that means is if he is getting there, if he is at a 65% or higher, what does that mean? It means that he's seeing the field, ladies and gentlemen. He's making good decisions and not constantly throwing out desperation. So if he stagnates or regresses, that's a red flag, no matter the excuses the team trots out there. The next thing I would say is you need to watch the 3rd and long situations. 3rd and long while losing. So here's the thing. This is a stat that matters. So if Young is consistently throwing on 3rd and 10 while trailing by double digits, we're not going to get a clean read on his growth. It means that the offense is still screwing up on early downs, and he's being asked to save the day over and over again. So context does matter. Okay, everyone. Context does matter. If he's completing 62% of his passes, but he throws bombs on 3rd and 15 every drive, that's on the coaching staff. That's not on the kid. That is completely on the coaching staff. And another one is big play threats. This is where I think that gets most exciting for me, is because Young has legit one of the NFL's best deep ball passers he was legitimately over the last month and a half in 2024. He was one of the best deep ball throwers in 2024, believe it or not. You can go look that stat up. That's not just spin. He's backed the tape and analytics. If he's hitting bombs on 2nd and short a couple times per game, man, this Carolina offense is going to be fun again, man. And if he's forced into low percentage moonshots or obviously passing downs, then welcome back to hell. Now, the bottom line I was getting at here, guys, is this. And I know I've just been rambling for the past 30-something minutes. But Bryce Young isn't a lost cause, ladies and gentlemen. Far from it. He is coming off quietly promising back half of the 2024 season. But now you have better weapons. Now you bring back your offensive line. Your offensive line is going to be the same what it was when you were there last year. You got a defense that actually might be able to get stopped for once in a while. Is he going to suddenly morph into a top 5 quarterback? I don't think so. I'm not going to put that on Bryce Young. I'm not going to. Do I want him to be a top 5 quarterback? Absolutely. Do I want him to be a top 10 quarterback? Absolutely. I need him. I would say if you can give me top 12, top 13, I'm happy. But here's the thing. But if he puts together a 3,500 plus yards, 25 plus touchdown season with single digits picks, right? And and improved his completion rate, then we might just have a guy that we can actually build around. The problem is if he doesn't, well, shit. Then it's back to the draft board in 2026. But guess what? If you go back to the draft board in 2026 and your defense is top 15 once again, and your offense shit the bed because it really wasn't anyone else's fault but Bryce, you go into that draft and you find your guy. What's up, Panthers gal? But yeah, I mean, so that's what I'm looking at. I need to see Bryce Young come out here and seriously put up a 35 plus 100-yard season. I need to see that completion percent go up. I need that completion percent to be 65% or higher. I need to see how he does against third long situations while losing, if we are losing. Because again, we got to look at it from this point. Again, the completion percent, that tells you again that he's seeing the field, he's making good decisions, not constantly throwing out of desperation. Okay. The third and long while he's losing, I wanted to repeat this again just because I want to make sure we add context because, like I said, context matters. Third and long while we're losing. So if he is still consistently throwing on 3rd and 10 while trailing by double digits, we're not going to get a clean read on this kid, man. We're not going to get a clean read on his growth. That means that the offense is still not doing their job on their 1st and 2nd down. And then you're asking him to save the day over and over again. So we need to be clear on that. Context does matter. Again, if he's completing 62% of his passes, but he's throwing bombs on 3rd and 15 every drive, that's on the coaching staff. That's not on Bryce Young. So context matters. So I want to make that perfectly clear. Dom34, what's up? You're using some crazy emojis over there, my friend. We need a backup corner in case that injury bug hits. You know who? Yes, I understand what you're saying. Panthers gal. Bryce has to force teams out of that cover 0 single high early in games. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good point for sure. I think that the X factor in this whole thing will be T-Mac. I think T-Mac on this offense is a total different ball game. Like, I think he's going to be that X factor. Like I said, if we even get 70% of what he was in Arizona, I mean, you've got a playmaker. Like, even if I would even say, even if he's half as good as the scouts think, he could be a dynamic target that forces defense to not have to double cover. Adam Thielen doesn't have to. They're going to have to pick their poison. More weapons equals more options. More options, that equals better football. Wild how that works. Now, with that said, Dom34 comes in and said that Ropp Star, would you give Bryce an extension of $60 million if his growth is on the coaches or on him? Well, the coaching staff is part of it. I mean, his growth is part of part of him as well, taking that next level. But it's also on the coaching staff to get him there as well. They have to help to work with him and develop him, right? But am I giving him a $60 million extension? If he balls out this year, Dom 34, and he gives me that 65% completion percentage, he gives me only single digit picks, 25 plus touchdowns, and over 3,500 yards, I'm not giving him $60 million extension. I would need to see him do the same thing, if not better, the next year. Then we can talk about an extension. But by that point, we could end up picking up his 5th-year option. I need two solid years out of you before I even thinking about an extension. Before I even think about an extension. Great question, though. T-Mac will open all our other wide receivers up with less coverage. I think he's going to open up the middle of the field for Bryce. That's what I think he's going to do. I think he's going to be a 50-50 ball guy. He's going to open up the middle of the field. He's definitely going to stretch the defense, stretch the field. He's going to pull coverage in. It helps everyone. I think it's going to help all these guys here. I like the depth of the weapons the Panthers have on offense. Me too. I mean, the biggest thing I'm looking forward to with I wish I could go to training camp, man, but I can't. I want to, because that's one of the battles I want to go watch. I want to go watch that receiver room at training camp. I want to see that so bad. I want to see that so bad. I don't know. Maybe we should petition to get a training camp site. Roadmaster says, "Let me call Canales. We need to run some bunch formation in motion for sure. Absolutely, Roadmaster. You make that call, man." But I mean, it just sucks, man, because I was looking forward to training camp this year. I wanted to have, go out there, film some content for you guys, and really get out there and freaking just absolutely ball out for at least a week for one of the training camps. And now we're not. At least one of the weeks. So we need to petition. We need to petition. We need to petition that. We need to petition that. We need to get back on the we need to go back to Wofford or wherever. I don't care. You know what I mean? I hope Chuba wasn't just a one-hit wonder. I'd love to see him continue to ball out the rest of this running back room. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think he'll still ball out. I mean, again, it's hard for me to not see this offense taking a major step forward. Even in the run game, I think that Rico Dowdle is going to be a nice compliment to Chuba. Chuba isn't going to have to stretch as much, right? Because you're going to be able to, you have a reliable running back. You're not getting a Miles Sanders who I don't think Rico Dowdle is going to fold like a Miles Sanders. I just don't see it. Yeah, I don't see that. T. Thompson, why would you say that? It's hard for me to see that he would take a step back. Zach, it's hard for me to see that. You got that offensive line coming back as well. I would be really shocked if he took a step back. I'd be really shocked. So, well, guys, I'm going to make this a short one tonight because I really don't have much to talk about as of right now. For what's going on in the Panthers world, there's really not much going on. We're done with the draft now. We're just looking forward towards. I'm looking towards the major dates that we got to look forward to now is. We got some dates coming up. So phase one, as of right now, consists of 2 weeks of these guys. Basically with activities, meetings, they got strength and conditioning. We all know that. Then they're gonna have some on-field workouts, and then probably so we got May 12th coming up. So we've got OTAs coming up, not May 12th. Sorry. We got OTA offseason coming up. We got May 20th. That's starting off May 27th through the 28th. We got May 30th. We got June 2nd through the 3rd and June 5th for OTA offseason workouts. You got mandatory minicamp June 10th through the 12th. And then really after that, they haven't announced when training camp's starting yet. I would assume it's probably a week or two after mandatory minicamp. Maybe they start in July. But yeah, I mean, there's not much going on right now out there in the Panthers world. Clay, you want to cover the USFAs tomorrow? Oh, what are you talking about? USFAs tomorrow. I hope they actually give Bryce some decent snaps in preseason. Maybe he won't have as a slow start again. I agree, Nervous. I agree. Oh, undrafted. Yeah, we can go over some of those guys. I haven't done that yet. So we definitely can go over those guys. What are you doing? My girlfriend was tapping on the window. I was like, what the hell is she doing? When are you going to talk about the unrestricted free agent? We can talk about them tomorrow. That's fine. I'll pull up the list and I'll put something together for you guys tomorrow. We can break those guys down. I wonder if I have any. I know I have film on some of those guys. Maybe I can find some more. I can find some film on them. But we'll definitely break down those undrafted free agents. So yeah, we could do that. I haven't done that yet, so definitely need to break those guys down. But well, guys, I'm gonna hop off of here. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys always coming in, showing some love and support with me. I love chat with you guys in chat room, Master. I appreciate you coming through. Zach, Josh, Don34. Actually, I should say Zach Taylor, Nervish, Panthers gal. Who else? Did I miss somebody else? Danny, Trey, Jay, who or ho? I don't know what you got there. Tim, appreciate you. Rock Jones, appreciate you. Eric Blair, appreciate you. Giving all you guys shout outs for coming through as always, and showing your love and support. I greatly appreciate that. Earl Lockley are coming in. Nick Tri-State coming in. Tyree Ross coming in. Raw Walk coming in. So I appreciate all you guys coming through. Again, become a member today. And as always, guys, I will see you on the other side. I will see you tomorrow. And it's all, wait. You'll see me tomorrow, but it'll be late. It won't be 8 o'clock. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Keep pounding, guys. I'll see y'all later. Peace.